what happens when two beloved Hollywood darlings, an A-list actress and a rising director, go from working together in harmony to clashing in a courtroom? That's exactly the messy situation Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni found themselves in. And trust us, the story behind it is more twisted than anyone expected. Blake Lively, known for her elegant red carpet moments and picture-perfect image, shocked fans when she filed a lawsuit against Justin Baldoni, the actor-turned-director famous for Jane the Virgin. At first, people assumed it was a minor disagreement, maybe a contractual dispute. But as documents emerged, it became clear Blake was accusing Baldoni of something far more serious: emotional manipulation and professional misconduct that allegedly caused her distress during a high-stakes film project. The case was packed with drama, text messages, on-set tensions, and claims that Blake had tried to resolve things privately before being forced to go public. She stated she had endured months of what she called psychological torment from Baldoni, which allegedly led to panic attacks and emotional exhaustion. The industry braced itself for a major reckoning, but when the court delivered its verdict, it wasn't what Blake expected. A Los Angeles judge dismissed her emotional distress claims, ruling that the evidence didn't meet the legal threshold. According to court documents, while Baldoni's behavior may have been unprofessional or frustrating, it didn't amount to legal wrongdoing. That ruling stunned Blake's supporters and sparked heated online debates about how the justice system treats emotional harm, especially when it involves powerful men in entertainment. Even more surprising, the silence that followed. Blake, who usually receives waves of celebrity support in times of hardship, found herself alone this time. Her publicist went quiet. Her Hollywood friends said nothing. But the most shocking silence of all came from Taylor Swift, the same Taylor who had once called Blake her ride or die. Fans quickly noticed Taylor's absence. No supportive tweet, no subtle like on Instagram, no cryptic lyrics to show solidarity. And that silence, it started a firestorm of speculation. Why would Taylor Swift, known for backing her friends no matter what, suddenly go radio silent during one of Blake's biggest public challenges? Were the two having their own falling out behind the scenes? Or was something even deeper going on? Something involving loyalty, image, and carefully guarded reputations? As rumors swirled, whispers emerged that Taylor wasn't just ignoring the situation, she was actively distancing herself. And Blake? She was reportedly desperate to fix things before the public caught on. But Taylor's ghosting was only the beginning. What came next would leave fans stunned, and Blake even more isolated. For years, Blake Lively and Taylor Swift were the definition of celebrity friendship goals. They vacationed together, posted adorable tributes on birthdays, and even let their families blend. Taylor famously used the names of Blake's children in her music. It wasn't just a show for social media. Fans genuinely believed their bond was the real deal. So when Taylor began to pull away, people noticed. At first, it was subtle. No backstage pics at the Eras tour, no reposts of Blake's promotional content. Then came the rumors. Blake had reached out multiple times, even sending long texts and private voice messages, all met with silence. A source close to the situation claimed Blake was confused and heartbroken, unsure what had gone wrong. Taylor, known for fiercely supporting her inner circle, was acting completely out of character. It wasn't just a missed message or two, it was full-on ghosting. And it wasn't just fans speculating anymore. Insiders claimed Taylor's team had advised her to stay far away from Blake's drama with Baldoni. According to them, being associated with a messy legal case could tarnish Taylor's image just as she was launching new re-recordings and preparing for a possible awards season sweep. But there was another twist no one saw coming. Taylor had her own history with Baldoni. Apparently, the two had worked together on a project a few years back, and while their collaboration wasn't widely publicized, it was enough to complicate things. Was Taylor avoiding Blake out of brand protection or out of loyalty to Baldoni? The tension reached a breaking point when Blake publicly showed up to one of Taylor's concerts, smiling for cameras, singing along like nothing had happened. Some thought it was an attempt to squash the rumors. Others saw it as a desperate move to reconnect. But behind the scenes, insiders said the two never spoke that night. Not before, not after, not even backstage. And then came the final blow. During an interview with a podcast host known for spilling tea on celebrity feuds, a guest casually mentioned that a certain blonde actress had been cut off by Taylor because she brought too much drama. Fans instantly linked it to Blake. The interview went viral, and Taylor didn't deny it. Suddenly, Blake wasn't just dealing with a legal loss, she was facing a full-blown friendship fallout. And in Hollywood, losing Taylor Swift as a friend is like losing half your public goodwill. The backlash was swift, pun intended, but Blake wasn't ready to disappear just yet. What she did next was bold, risky, and wildly misunderstood. After the podcast drama went viral, Blake Lively found herself in an unfamiliar position, on the defensive. Her reputation, once pristine and media-approved, was now being questioned by both the public and Hollywood insiders. And the most painful part, she wasn't just losing a legal battle, she was losing control of the narrative. Determined not to let herself be painted as unstable or dramatic, Blake took action. She posted a carefully worded Instagram story. Just a simple quote about truth always rising. But fans knew exactly what it meant. It was subtle, it was calculated, and it was meant to remind the world that she had her own side of the story. Then came the unexpected. Blake was seen meeting with a well-known publicist famous for handling celebrity crises, someone who'd previously helped A-listers navigate scandals and image rehabilitation. Speculation grew that Blake was preparing to launch a full-scale PR offensive to win back both public sympathy and industry support. But as she tried to regain footing, more complications surfaced. Leaked emails, allegedly between her team and Baldoni's production company, hinted at miscommunication and contractual confusion. While they didn't exactly exonerate Baldoni, they also didn't paint Blake in the best light. Some critics began to say she'd overreacted, others accused her of weaponizing public sympathy. And still, Taylor said nothing. Every day that passed without a single comment from her only amplified the tension. Gossip accounts on TikTok and Instagram fanned the flames, suggesting that Blake was being soft canceled by Taylor's inner circle. Even Selena Gomez, a close mutual friend, noticeably stopped liking Blake's posts. For fans, this wasn't just a friend breakup, it was a power shift. But here's where it gets even messier. Insiders began whispering that Blake suspected Taylor had leaked details of the lawsuit to mutual acquaintances, perhaps even to media outlets. There was no hard proof, but the timing of certain anonymous reports raised eyebrows. Could Taylor have quietly contributed to Blake's public unraveling? If that were true, it would mark a serious betrayal. And yet, in the world of celebrity friendships, loyalty can be as fragile as a glass award. One wrong move, one bad headline, and alliances collapse. Meanwhile, Baldoni remained almost eerily quiet. No statements, no interviews. His only public comment was a vague tweet about grace under fire. Some took it as smug. Others saw it as smart. He was letting the women destroy each other while staying above the chaos. Blake, now fully aware of how isolated she'd become, started pulling back from public life. Fewer appearances, no major press, and no new acting projects announced. Just silence, and the occasional cryptic post about growth, healing, and being misunderstood. But the drama wasn't over, because just when everyone thought the story had burned out, another revelation dropped, one that tied everything together in a way no one saw coming. And this twist? It didn't just expose the cracks in their friendship. It forced fans to ask, was Blake the victim all along, or had she just played the game and lost? Just as the whispers began to fade and the public's attention moved to the next Hollywood scandal, a major leak reignited everything. An anonymous source, rumored to be a former assistant with ties to both women, shared a series of screenshots with a gossip blog. The screenshots allegedly showed private texts between Blake and Taylor dated months before the lawsuit ever went public. If real, the messages were damning. In one message, Blake allegedly begged Taylor to stay by her side, saying, "You know what I've been through. I need you." Another showed Taylor replying, "I can't get involved in this. It's too messy." But the most shocking text? Taylor allegedly wrote, "You chose to go nuclear, Blake. I warned you." Fans were stunned. The text painted a picture not of betrayal, but of a long-brewing conflict. If accurate, they suggested that Taylor had tried to warn Blake about the risks of going public with the lawsuit, especially given the thin legal ground. And when Blake ignored that advice, Taylor chose to walk away. The internet exploded. Some fans sided with Blake, calling her brave for standing up against a powerful director and risking her reputation. Others defended Taylor, saying she had every right to protect her own image and career from unnecessary drama. What was once a private falling out was now a full-on fandom war. And the real twist? Baldoni's team used the leak as leverage. In a statement released shortly after the text went viral, his rep said the messages validated our client's long-standing position that this case was fueled by personal motivations, not legal merit. With that, any hope of Blake regaining the upper hand vanished. Blake's lawyers quickly fired back, calling the leak unauthorized and malicious. But the damage was already done. Hollywood, always sensitive to perception, began to cool on her. A project she was rumored to be leading was quietly shelved. A brand deal fell through. The whispers that she was difficult to work with returned, louder than ever. And Taylor, she carried on, untouched. Her album topped the charts. Her tour broke records. She posted selfies with other friends, never once addressing the fallout. Her silence was strategic and powerful. In the end, Blake Lively's legal defeat became more than just a court case. It exposed the brutal reality of celebrity friendships, the limits of loyalty, and the dangerous game of public opinion. One moment she was Hollywood's golden girl. The next, she was the center of a storm she couldn't control. Whether Blake will recover from this chapter is unclear. Some fans remain fiercely loyal. Others have moved on. But one thing's certain. She won't forget who stayed quiet when she needed them most. And Taylor Swift? She didn't need to say a word. Her silence said everything. This story definitely took some unexpected turns. But what do you think? Was Blake betrayed by her closest friend? Or did she play herself? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like if you made it to the end. And don't forget to subscribe. We've got even more Hollywood drama coming your way.